Why did the employee who kept the entire business alive finally snap? My bosses called me the problem guy, not because I liked solving problems, though I was good at it, but because I could fix any error in the spaghetti code that was our system and single-handedly kept our entire startup alive. The whole thing started when I answered a Craigslist ad my senior year. Need someone who codes was literally all it said. No requirements, just someone who could write basic JavaScript. The interview was in a garage with 3 Stanford MBAs who had an idea for revolutionizing peer-to-peer marketplace transactions, but had burned through 5 developers who kept quitting. Their code base was a nightmare. React mixed with jQuery, no documentation, variable names like thing1 and stuff_new_final_2. The previous developers had rage quit, leaving behind digital chaos. Can you fix this? Brad, the CEO, asked, showing me an error screen that had been crashing their site every 3 hours for a month. I fixed it in 40 minutes. They hired me on the spot. The first 6 months were actually beautiful. When I prevented our first major crash during an investor demo, they took me out for Korean BBQ. Brad raised a toast to Daniel, the real MVP. Without him, we'd be nothing. Jessica, the CFO, literally cried when I recovered 3 months of data they thought was lost. Mike, the CTO who couldn't actually code, called me a genius in front of everyone. Word spread through the company that I could fix anything. Sales would text me directly when clients complained. Marketing would beg me to just quickly look at the analytics integration. Customer service had my personal cell for emergencies. I became the secret weapon they'd whisper about to investors. We have this guy who can solve literally any technical problem. By year 2, I was doing the work of an entire engineering team. My 40-hour weeks became 60, then 80, then 90. I deployed patches at 3 a.m. while Brad posted Instagram stories from Burning Man. I'd debug critical features during Thanksgiving while they flew to Turkey for a leadership retreat. I lived on energy drinks and gas station sushi, fixing problems for my phone at family gatherings. They kept me going with promises. Once we close Series A, you're getting equity, man. You're employee number 4, you'll be rich. That became after Series B for sure. Then, right before the C round, I promise. I believed them because I was 24 and stupid and thought hard work meant something. The equity promises became a running joke I wasn't in on. They'd introduce me to investors as Daniel, our little helper from community college, then frantically text me when the live demo crashed. At company parties, they'd tell the story of finding me like I was a stray dog they'd rescued. We gave him his first real job, Jessica would say, wine drunk and condescending. He didn't even go to a real school, but the moment something broke, my phone would explode. Emergency. Daniel, please! The site is down. Fixing it is your only priority. I remember the exact moment everything changed. We were filing for IPO, and I asked Brad about my equity over Slack. He responded with a laughing emoji. You were never technically an employee, Daniel. You're a contractor. No equity for contractors. That's standard. The next day, they announced the IPO at an all-hands meeting. The company was valued at $500 million. My theoretical 1% that they'd been promising for 3 years would have been worth $5 million. Instead, they gave me a $500 bonus and threw a pizza party. Brad made a speech about how everyone contributed to our success while looking directly through me. That night, I opened my laptop and looked at the code I'd maintained for 3 years. Every function, every module, every critical system had my fingerprints on it, including the little time bombs I'd planted over the years. Not malicious, just insurance. Deadman switches I'd built during those 3 a.m. debugging sessions, commented with innocuous notes that looked like regular error handling. The NYSE opening bell ceremony was perfect. CNBC was there. TechCrunch had a live blog. Brad's parents flew in from Connecticut. He rang the bell at 9:30 a.m. Confetti fell. Champagne popped. The stock opened at $47. At 9:31, every function in our codebase simultaneously returned the same error. Equity not found. The site didn't just crash. It displayed that message on every page, every app screen, every API response. The stock price started dropping immediately. Investors panicked. The technical team, the new one they'd hired with real degrees, couldn't figure it out. They called me 17 times. I didn't answer. By market close, we'd lost $50 million in valuation. Brad was screaming on Bloomberg about cyber terrorism and sabotage. The board launched an investigation. That's when I sent the screenshots to every major tech journalist. 3 years of Slack messages. Just keep the code monkey thinking he'll get equity until IPO. Daniel actually thinks he's getting shares. He fixes everything for basically nothing. It's incredible. Thank God he's too stupid to know his worth. But my favorite was from Brad to Mike. I told him next quarter again. Bought us 3 more months of free labor. He's from community college. What's he gonna do? Sue us? I closed my laptop and waited. They knew where I lived. This was about to be fun. Full story on